Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So as always, do me a favor before we dive into these topics. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. We're starting here with an interesting write-up from Push Square, where they say Horizon Burning Shores is a technical masterclass on PS5, says new analysis. If you've played it, then this new report from Digital Foundry won't come as much of a surprise, but we think it's worth writing about all the same. Turns out that Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, the recently released expansion, is incredibly impressive from a technical standpoint. Digital Foundry heaps praise on its overall performance and the sheer quality of its visuals. As you may already know, Burning Shores is a PS5 exclusive, and so developer Guerrilla Games didn't have to scale anything back for the sake of a cross-gen project. The DLC's various graphical settings are all pretty much flawless, says the report. The publication states that it's simply an excellent performer across the board. Performance mode in particular is super slick, sticking to 60 frames per second at a checkerboard 1800p. Digital Foundry goes on to compare the expansion to the base game, which looked fantastic to begin with. The article highlights a gorgeous lighting system, weather effects, and the DLC's touted cloud rendering technology, all of which push the visuals beyond what you'll find in Forbidden West. The visuals in Burning Shores are just seriously impressive then. You can almost smell the seawater, feel the volcanic heat, and sense the soft mist of the clouds, the analysis concludes. Minor animation issues and some very slight pop-in don't detract from an overall stunning visual presentation. So yes, I had to take a couple of minutes here to talk about Digital Foundry's analysis of the Burning Shores DLC. A lot of you guys are telling me how impressed you are by it. I have found myself impressed by everything I've seen of it so far. But obviously, people are going to listen to what Digital Foundry has to say because they are the tech experts, and as you can see, they are very much impressed. So, we think about Guerrilla Games being able to do this much right now with a PS5 only DLC. I can only imagine what they're going to be able to do with Horizon 3, having much more time to work with the PS5 and also knowing it's going to be a PS5 only title. Or who knows, maybe it'll be a cross-gen title with the PlayStation 6. We'll have to see when that time comes. Moving on to the next topic, I want to let everybody know that we have an update on the upcoming Twisted Metal TV series. It was revealed that it's going to premiere on Peacock on July 27th of this year, so just a couple of months from now, and we got our first image. So based off this image, to be honest, I don't really know what to expect. It doesn't look all that great. I mean, it looks fine. It's one of these things where I'm going to have to see footage of it. I'm going to have to get an idea of what to expect with this show. And so that's actually going to be coming sometime today. It might even be out by the time this video releases. But apparently we're going to get our first teaser trailer for Twisted Metal today. So be on the lookout for that and let me know what your expectations are. Next up, we have some very, very good news for PlayStation and PlayStation 5. I have an article here from WCCF Tech, and it says PlayStation 5 had the biggest Q1 ever for any console, shipping 6.3 million units. Total shipments top 38.4 million units. They say here, now that the shortage issues are a thing of the past, the PlayStation 5 console is selling incredibly well. So much so that it has become the best-selling console in history for the first quarter of any fiscal year. As confirmed today in Sony's financial results, the Japanese company shipped a total of 6.3 million units in the first 3 months of 2023, 4.3 million units over the first quarter of the previous fiscal year, becoming the best-selling console for the first quarter of any previous fiscal year ever. Total shipments were confirmed to be at 38.4 million units worldwide. Software, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be doing as well. In the first 3 months of the year, PlayStation 5 and 4 software sales amounted to a total of 68 million units, down 2.5 million units from the first quarter of the previous fiscal year. Of course, 9.5 million units were first-party games, 5 million less compared to the sales of the first quarter of last year. 70% of these sales were digital, a result that is pretty much in line with that of last year's first quarter. Once again, Sony proved that it's only great games that drive console sales. And plenty of these great titles were released in the past few months, including first-party titles like God of War Ragnarok, The Last of Us Part 1, with some high-profile third-party releases coming in the future, such as Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Rebirth. Sales will only increase, giving the PlayStation 5 console the chance of becoming not only one of Sony's best-selling systems, but also one of the best-selling gaming consoles ever. So this is some pretty big news for the PS5. We all knew that the PS5 was doing incredibly well and clearly wasn't slowing down, but to hear that it did this well, it has come out and sold 6.3 million units in one quarter, beating any console in history, including the PlayStation 2. That is very impressive, and I believe I read somewhere that based off of this, it's actually doing double that of PS4 numbers at the same time, which is huge. So even though software sales are down a little bit, I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to pick up as the year goes forward and as more games get announced. And, you know, you think about all these people that are going out there buying these PS5s, I'm sure that many of them are eagerly awaiting some new announcements from Sony, just like most of us are. And hopefully that's going to come soon. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff here. Love to see it. Love to see the PS5 doing so well. On top of that, we have an update from Sony, a small one, but a significant one regarding Spider-Man 2 being reported by Push Square. They say Sony has set some extremely aggressive sales targets for the PS5, and it's going to need titanic software releases to help it maintain the machine's momentum. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is nailed on to be the biggest first-party release on this new-gen system thus far, and the company has once again moved to reassure shareholders and fans that the title is on track. Speaking as part of its earnings call earlier today, it said, quote, "We are planning to release a major title, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, this fiscal year, and we aim to continue creating new IP, rolling out catalog titles for PC, and strengthening live service development," end quote. There are a few surprises in these comments, of course, but it's good to have its strategy reiterated. And so, yeah, we have reassurance from Sony once again that Spider-Man 2 is currently on track to release this fiscal year. And we all know that Insomniac came out and said fall 2023. I mean, by this point in time, guys, we have to be very close to getting some new information on Spider-Man 2, a new trailer, some gameplay, a release date, things of that nature. At least I imagine we have to be close at this point, but it is nice to get that reassurance once again from Sony. Moving on from that, Sony estimates record-breaking PS5 shipments in the coming year. After recording the division's best ever Q4 revenue period, Sony is only aiming higher when it comes to PlayStation. For the coming fiscal year, which is between April 2023 and March 2024, it estimates shipments of 25 million PS5 consoles, which would be the highest ever for any PlayStation console in history should it achieve it. The total number of PS5s to hit store shelves would then increase to 63.4 million. Across the same time period, PS4 managed roughly 60 million units, so PS5 would be outpacing the last-gen console at that point. It's possible Sony may well hit the target too, as it managed to ship 19.1 million systems in the fiscal year just done. And that included a period in the beginning when PS5 stock was still constrained. With stock now free-flowing, though, the estimate doesn't seem that unrealistic. So, yeah, once again, Sony coming out very aggressively, making it known that they plan to do even more and even better when it comes to PS5 sales. And we all know there's only one way Sony's going to achieve that. That is by announcing new games, announcing new exclusives, new third-party games, new second-party deals, and everything in between. We all know that this is what ultimately drives console sales. And so if Sony's coming out this confident after already breaking a record, or setting a new record, I should say, and saying we're going to do even better than this, I mean, you have to imagine that the supposed phase 2 of the PS5 is going to be something remarkable. But we are going to close out this video with a little update on PlayStation Plus and how it's doing. Again, from Push Square, Sony gained 1 million PS Plus subscribers from January through the end of March 2023 to see its members count increase again to a total of 47.4 million. Having experienced a small dip earlier in the year, the growth sees the number of paying accounts return to what appears to be the service's general peak, just under 50 million subscribers. It's never gone above 48 million numbers recorded in Q3 of fiscal year 2021. Interestingly, this actually ties in with a loss of 4 million monthly active users across the same time period, down to 108 million. Sony will likely look on the bright side though, fewer members, but more of them are paying for subscriptions to PlayStation Plus Essential, Extra, and Premium. The two more expensive tiers have been on a roll as of late, with long monthly lists of quality PS5 and PS4 game editions. And so, yeah, when it comes to PS Plus, it's, nothing major here. It seems to be kind of hovering around the same spot that it has been for quite some time. And I think that that's what's kind of interesting is we do have to ask ourselves, like, has PlayStation Plus, have the numbers peaked? Can they get to 50 million? Can they go past 50 million? I mean, I have no doubt in the long run they absolutely can. But it seems like something is going to have to give at some point in order for that to happen. It could very well just be maybe relying on PS5 sales, right? If the PS5 continues to break records at the rate it is, it could very well go on to be the best-selling PlayStation of all time, which would be incredible because that would mean the PS5 would have to beat the PlayStation 2, which I believe is currently sitting at 155 million units sold. So that would be an incredible feat, but if Sony can even get close to that, you have to imagine that alone is going to bump up the PlayStation Plus subscriber number. That on top of all the work they're doing with Extra and Premium. So there you go. Generally speaking, Sony is doing incredibly well. They are in a very healthy position. And one last thing that I do want to close out this video with is that Sony's CFO or Chief Financial Officer Hiroki Totoki, also the president of PlayStation, or Sony, I should say, he is coming out and making it known that when it comes to anything regarding acquisitions, Sony is going to be increasing the cost by 20% year over year. So this is clearly a signal that when it comes to acquiring studios and looking for studios to bring on, to the PlayStation family, that's not done yet. They're going to continue to pursue that, and they're investing more money into it. So just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, again, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.